Section playoffs are underway in Minnesota high school softball. Today, a great matchup in Section 5 4A. The number 3 seed, Champlin Park, taking on the number 2 seed, Maple Grove. Both teams 14-7 and looking to advance to the winner's bracket final on Friday. It comes your way next, live on CCX. It is about game time here in Maple Grove as we get set for section softball. Champlin Park and Maple Grove. Second round play in Section 5 4A. From Maple Grove High School, John Jacobson along with Eric Ruska. And Eric, you're out of coaching and have been at Osseo for a long time, so you are familiar with these coaches, these programs. Two really good teams in the Northwest Suburban Conference and in Section 5 4A for a number of years.
Yeah, they've been section powers for sure, big-time rivals. Got to attend a few games while we were off, and out at Champlin Park or at Maple Grove, the crowd always comes out, and it's always heated. The competitors in the field, I think, feel the same way. They just get after each other, and again, I had a chance to compete against both these coaches. They're top-notch. They know what they're doing, and they always bring their teams ready to play.
You see the graphic there. They met just 9 days ago with the Rebels and the Crimson, with Maple Grove winning by a score of 3-0. And Champlin Park has had some good games against Maple Grove, but it's been a long time since they have beat the Crimson. They feel very confident coming into this game, as does Maple Grove. They feel like they've got a shot to get it to the next round coming up on Friday.
Yeah, and they both always schedule a really tough schedule to make them their team prepared for this moment. I know the first game they met just 9 days ago. They is three runs late, so I know both teams feel they had a chance to win that game, and so I'm sure Champlin's got that on their bulletin board.
I think as far as playoff softball, you always want to make sure that you are playing your best ball today, right? And then on the mistakes, any mistakes you might have would be magnified, right? So you got to keep your girls in line, make sure they're not let that kind of pressure get to them, right?
Yeah, for sure. Keep the emotions under control. Don't let the little things become big things, and I think that's true most games, but especially when it becomes a chance to get to the championship game here.
Centennial is the defending section champion, beat Maple Grove in the final a season ago. They are the number 1 seed again this year in Section 5, and they are playing simultaneous to this game against Spring Lake Park right now. The winner of that game and the winner of this one will meet tomorrow. If it's Centennial, the game is at Centennial, and then the loser of those two games will play tomorrow as well in elimination games, as there are a couple of elimination games going on as well. Cooper and Osseo and Irondale and Park Center are playing today. The losers out, the winners advancing to Friday.
Absolutely. This is the greatest time of the year, so I know all teams are excited, and this is a big game to put them in good position for the rest of the tournament.
For Champlin Park, for a team, again, they're kind of the underdog, even though these teams have the same record. What's the key for them today, do you think, Eric?
I think they got to get on Maple Grove offensively early and get some runners on base, put the pressure on. A younger pitcher, even though Maple Grove returns a big defense, I think they have to get some pressure on there from their offense.
And for Maple Grove, just play your game right and hope that's enough.
Yeah, they'll be aggressive. They're ready to go, and they'll live in that tradition of attending the state tournament.
Should be a good one here, and we'll have it for you in just a moment. It's Champlin Park, Maple Grove, Section 5 4A softball comes your way next, right here on CCX.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I'm so proud to call you my son.
Cloudy skies, a little bit of a breeze today, but Eric Erskine, by the spring standards, it's beautiful softball weather, right? Even in May 26th, should be warmer, but we're going to take it.
No rain, no snow, not a lot of wind. This is great.
Batting order for the Champlin Park Rebels today, and then Coach Brian Woodley. Reese Gremler leads off, plays third base. Maddie Caroon at second base, batting second. Then Alyssa Blaska at short. Emma Houston in right field, Abby Meads at first, Ava Parent in center field, Kaylin Tillman bats seventh and catches, Emily Rosine is the DP, hitting for the pitcher Riley Lenhart, and Natalie Warwa batting ninth and playing left field. And the defense for the Rebels around the infield, Caitlin Casper at first, Leah Eiley at second, Elizabeth Berry at short, and Sam Gustafson at third. Faith Cry in left, Alyssa Werns in center, Danny Strom is in right field, and Ava Eiley is the catcher. A couple of veteran coaches out here. Eric, you coached for a long time in this conference, but not quite as long as Mr. Coltis at Maple Grove, and probably about the same as Brian Woodley at Champlin Park.
Yep. Yeah, I got my start just a little bit after Jim did. I was actually a B squad coach, so I remember when he was the head coach for the first time at Maple Grove. They always had a nice program here, and Woodley took over about shortly after I started, and so we're all kind of in that same graduating class, so to speak.
Rebels look ready, they look loose. Maple Grove on their side, they could be their final home game of the season. If they if they would win today in advance, they'd have to play at Centennial tomorrow.
That's kind of an interesting deal when we went to this all high seeds. Obviously, it's great for the crowds just coming to their home fields, but it definitely changes things where you normally would be maybe at Rice Creek, and you'd have this big atmosphere of softball, which is kind of fun too.
I mentioned, again, by this spring, not a horrible day, but not terribly warm either. As we look at the conditions today, 60 degrees, wind out of the north at 10 miles per hour, and no threat of rain today, so that's good. Yesterday rained out to Section 6-4A, Section 6-3A, and other tournament play. There were no games scheduled in Section 5 here, so we did not get off schedule. Their first round games were played on Tuesday, and again today is the second round, and then the third round coming up Friday before the Memorial Day weekend. As we look at our coaches, Brian Woodley, 13th season as head coach at Champlin Park High School. Section runner-up a couple of years ago to Maple Grove, the year that they went on to win the state tournament back in 2019. And Jim Coltis, 21st season here at Maple Grove. It's been a long time, but it was not a program that had a lot of success in the first few years that this school opened until Jim took over, and then a couple of years, and since then they've been among the best around. Yeah,
and a good youth program, and I think they had a lot of parents that volunteered their time building that up, and we got a lot of pitchers come out of this area, and Jim's been inherited a lot of those and was lucky enough to do that, and those are all great kids. And Champlin's coming up too. I mean, I drove by their fields the other day, and they're packed full of young kids playing softball too. So both up and coming programs. Obviously, Maple Grove's got a little bit of more of a head start, but two solid programs.
That should be a good one today. Maddie Wilm ready to take her warm-up tosses, but needs a game ball. So you look at her record of the season, 12-5 102 thirds innings pitched, 178 strikeouts, Eric. So she can bring it.
She can. I got that chance to watch her early in the season. She surprisingly throws with a lot of zip, and she has good control of the zone. Throws a couple different pitches. I like when she throws her off-speed pitch. I think that definitely throws the timing of the batters off because she does throw fairly hard.
ERA on the season of 2.05. They mentioned just the one meeting between these two teams this season, and that came on May 17th at Champlin Park, with the Crimson winning by a score of 3-0. A couple of losses later in that week for the Crimson to White Bear Lake and Eden Prairie, and finished the season with a win against Wayzata before their section tournament opener against Park Center the other day. Champlin Park had the losses to Maple Grove and LeSueur Henderson to close out the regular season, and then beat Irondale 5-4 on Tuesday to get to today's game. And so we are ready to go. Rich Remler stacked in, our first batter of the game. First pitch inside for a ball.
That looks like she's going to pound that inside corner a little bit here and see how she mixes it up.
.391 batting average for Remler on the season. Called strike, and it's 1-1. Maddie Gruen, Alyssa Blaska to follow here in the Champlin Park first. This pitch is low, 2-1. Foul back. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
She's looking for that pitch again, I think.
Yeah, take it again, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Swing and a miss.
That's right.
Up above the zone, and Remler went after it and 1 down.
Very nice rise ball. Set her up for that pitch. Hard to stay off that.
Maddie Gruen, the second baseman, hitting second. Now steps out of the box. Gruen a .333 batting average on the season, 13 for 39. Ground this one past Wilm from second, not going to be in time. It'll be an infield single. Got past Wilm, and Leah Eiley really had no chance to throw her out. Gruen running well, and it's a single, a 1-out single for the Rebel second baseman.
Yeah, just got through her legs there. That happens so quick. I'm always amazed pitchers can pick that up when they do.
The 1 on, 1 out. Very dangerous Alyssa Blaska at the plate, hitting .500 on the season. 31 for 62, 4-year starter for Champlin Park. .14 extra base hits there, 26 runs batted in 21 games.
Yeah, a name that is obviously synonymous with Champlin Park softball, but Alyssa's done a nice job, and I think coach would like to see her come through in this situation right here. Definitely a threat to the gaps.
1-1 pitch. Right after that one, misses 1 and 2. Good pitch from Wilm.
Yeah, Wilm looks like she's worked down to work up. See if Champlin can adjust now.
Two-one pitch, swing and a miss. 1-2 pitch, as I would say, and that's strike 3. And Big strikeout for Wilm, second out of the inning.
Kind of surprised Coach Woodley didn't move her over. Blasco runs pretty well.
So 2 outs for the Rebels. And Emma Hewson, the right fielder, the batter. Hewson hitting .297 on the season. Pops it up and out of play. Hewson second on the team in RBIs behind Blasco. Probably doesn't hurt hitting behind number 10, right?
No, it never does. Yeah, she's been around a long time, too. She's pretty crafty at bat.
Fouled, out of play again. Back behind us. And so Wilm gets ahead, 2 strikes on Hewson.
Well, she got the other ones out via rise ball. See if she goes back there.
And the 2 high, Hewson didn't offer at it at all, and it's 1-2. One and two. Grun on at first with 2 outs here in the top of the first for the Rebels. Wilms pitch out of the zone. Runner goes to runner down to second. Berry puts the tag on, and there's the out. Good throw by Ava Eiley. The tag applied, and Maddie Grun out, caught stealing to end the Champlin Park first.
A nice throw by the catcher. She got up out of her. You know, of course, the ball was going up there anyway, so it led her right to that throw. It was still a nice throw. Great tag.
Take a look at it again, Eric. Mary, the shortstop, over and gets the tag on.
And Barry knows what she's doing out there. She's been out there for a long time. Seen lots of different runners and plays. A stalwart out there at shortstop in Maple Grove.
So it brings up Maple Grove for the first time in the batting order today for the Crimson. Alyssa Werns leading off and playing center field. Danny Strom in right, bats second. Elizabeth Berry at shortstop hitting third. Caitlin Casper at first hits cleanup. Leah Eiley at second base hitting fifth. Sam Gustafson at third. Maddie Wilm, the pitcher. Jenna Steele, the DP, hitting eighth. And Faith Cry batting ninth and playing in left field. Defense for Champlin Park today. Abby Meads at first. Maddie Grun at second. Alyssa Blaska at short. Reese Remler at third. In the outfield, Natalie Warwa in left, Ava Parent in center, Emma Hewson in center, in right field, and Caitlin Tillman doing the catcher. And today she is catching for Riley Leonhardt. 12-5 on the season. It's just shy of 110 innings on the season. ERA of 2.36 with 86 strikeouts on the season. Warren's the first batter and swings and misses at the first offering from Leonhardt.
Yeah, Riley's been a starter at Champlin for a long time. She's a crafty pitcher. She knows how to move the ball, moves it inside, outside, up and down.
And it had quickly 0-2. Yeah. Warren's a good season at the plate, hitting at .406. Takes that one outside. It's 1-2. 6 doubles for Warren's, 10 runs batted in. Called strike 3. A good start from Leonhardt, getting the leadoff batter Warren's out to start the ball game.
Kind of froze her on that one. Looked like she was looking for something a little bit different. And Riley does that. She just has that ability to kind of switch things up right in the middle of things. And next thing you know, you're reaching and it's not there.
Danny Strom takes the first pitch outside for ball one. Maple Grove right fielder. Also hitting over 400 on the season, 403 coming into play today.
She's had a real good season.
Makes it up high, and it's 2-0. Leads the team in RBIs with 23. There's a strike call.
That's a nice pitch. It's a tough one to hit, too.
Grounded to third. Fair ball. Throw across the diamond. And a good play defensively there by Rimler. Throws to Abby Meads, and there's 2 away.
Put it in play and make the defense work. Champlin up to the task. Nice throw. Nice strong throw.
2 up, 2 down in the Maple Grove first. And here's Bisberry. Long-time shortstop for Maple Grove. Berry hitting at .414 on the season. 3 home runs and 13 RBIs.
She does a little everything here. Hits for power, hits for average. Been here for a long time.
Swing and a miss. Leonhardt works ahead 1-2 on the Crimson shortstop. Started on that Maple Grove State Championship team in 2019 as a freshman. Now in her last weeks of high school softball, trying to get Maple Grove into the winner's bracket final here this afternoon. Sliced foul. Count stays at 1-2.
She's fighting. I don't think she's gonna let her off the hook.
Grounded to short. Clean hop there for Blaska across to Meads, and Maple Grove retired in order in the bottom half of the first inning. Nothing across for Maple Grove. We played 1 inning here in Maple Grove. No score. Rebels in the Crimson.
What if you could feel in control of your retirement in just a few clicks? At aceyourretirement.org, you can. Start with a free 3-minute chat with Avo, your friendly digital retirement coach. Just answer some simple questions like, how do you feel about your ability to save for retirement? Or in how many years do you want to retire? To get free action items customized just for you, get your retirement back on track at aceyourretirement.org.
My kids put skis on as they were learning to walk. I want my kids to be able to have those moments with their kids. Being a scientist, I'm worried about climate change in so many different ways for my kids. From the second you have a child, you want to do everything to protect them. I think our action on climate change is no different. It's just an extension of being a mom.
Yeah, definitely jacket weather, maybe blanket weather, depending on your preference. Hoodie weather. Yeah, not super warm today, but the fans have come out. And I think they're going to enjoy a good one here for another 6 innings at least, right?
Yeah, I think so. Classic matchup. 0-0 through 7 last game. Expect nothing less here.
Emma Houston was at the plate in the first inning when Maddie Gurdon got thrown out at second, so she'll lead off the second inning here for the Rebels. Abby Meads and Ava Parent to follow. 2 strikeouts for Wilm in the first inning. And then the put out down at second base. Grounded foul. 1-1.
Yeah, she's just kind of dominating the zone. She throws it hard, pounding the zone, and then entices them to swing at that rise ball. Champlin's going to need to adjust if they're going to get some offense going here.
A little low, 2-1.
It's always nice as a pitcher, though, because you got a solid defense behind you. It doesn't make a lot of errors.
Let's go, Madison.
So she knows that if she has to get to the zone, she can.
Grounded back to the pitcher. Nice grab by Wilm. And let this one get past her and throws to Caitlin Casper. And there's one away in the Champlin Park second.
Now batting first baseman, number 8, Abby Meads.
Always feels good when the pitcher fields their own position.
Abby Meads is the first baseman, number 5 hitter for Champlin Park. First pitch strike. Meads this season a .404 batting average. 13 runs batted in for her. Got to miss, she's behind though, 0-2 here. Champlin Park senior. He's pitched a couple of games. It's been mostly Leonhardt though for the Rebels this season, but he's been their backup pitcher in addition to playing first base. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Hit out in the air to right field. Drifting over and back a little bit. Danny Strom makes the catch for the second out.
Yeah, no worry on her face. Danny's been out there for a while. Really good defensive right fielder.
Now batting center fielder, number 13, Ava Parent.
Ava Parent, the Champlin Park center fielder, coming to the plate. Just a freshman. She and Reese Remler led off the game, both freshmen. It's 4 freshmen total on the roster, Eric, 2 in the starting lineup.
Yeah, well, like I said, they have some good young kids coming up. They had a fabulous freshman team last year, so the pipeline continues. Good to see some young kids get some opportunities at section time.
A ball on the strike here to Parent. Foul tipped strike, 1-2. Wilm's pitch, swing and a miss. Strikeout number 3 for Maddie Wilm. Champlin Park out in order in the second. We'll be back. More softball in a moment. No score. Champlin Park, Maple Grove. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV. Riley Leonhardt, retired Maple Grove in order in the bottom half of the first inning. She'll go to work on the 4, 5, and 6 hitters here in the home half of the second. Means Caitlin Casper, Leah Eiley, and Sam Gustafson.
Leading off the second for Maple Grove, first baseman, number 35, Caitlin Casper.
Caitlin Casper, 333 on the season, batting average, 19 for 57. 14 runs batted in, 1 home run for her. First pitch swinging, fouls it out of play.
Maple Grove seems to be really aggressive at the bat today, really attacking that first pitch, even though some of the time it's not quite in the zone, but they're not letting her off the hook right away, trying to ambush her. A little bit different than what Champlin's strategy is against Wilms.
Good pitch, the strike call on the outside corner, and Leonhardt working ahead 0-2 on Casper. Nice pitch, the changeup for called strike 3.
That's only the first time we saw that, and that's
Number 11, Leah
the
Eiley.
pitch everyone gets hooked on. Look at this one. Oof. Tough pitch. Good location. Just froze her.
Gives her 88 strikeouts on the season now and 111 innings pitched. A soft liner on 1 bounce. And Leah Eiley retired. Maddie Gruen to Abby Mead. 4-3, 2 away.
That's a good pickup on that short hop by Gruen. Calmly gets it in her glove and nice throw to first base.
That brings Sam Gustafson up. With 2 outs and nobody on. First pitch low, ball 1.
Well, the Champlin defense is holding up. This is nice. All balls in play so far.
And we've only played, an inning and 2/3, but you feel like almost like 1 run or 1 big play is going to be enough today, right? And I know we still got plenty of softball left, but
I think so.
teams are locked in, fouled away. 2-1 to Gustafson.
Yeah, both these pitchers are on top of their game this early in the game. Might be tough to get on base here.
2-1 pitch, lifted in the air, past first base down the right field line, out of play, or foul, not out of play, and drops for a strike, and it's 2-2. A long run for Emma Houston there in right.
I think it was going to hold up there for a while, and she's running underneath it.
Two. This one is out of play. Gustafson hanging up here against Leonhardt.
A couple really nice swings. She's been really close.
Up high, 3-2. Maddie Wilm, the pitcher, on deck if Gustafson is able to reach. Called strike 3. Great pitch by Leonhardt. Froze Gustafson. And another strikeout for the Champlin Park senior, and Maple Grove still without a base runner. 2 innings complete. Still no score. Champlin Park and Maple Grove.
I'm a first-generation Filipino American. You don't always feel you're a part of the country you live in. It's this weird middle space sometimes that you have to live inside of. But when you meet others that are also living in that space, you'll learn to know that it's its own unique space too.
What do an aerospace engineer, cancer immunologist, and bat scientist all have in common? We all have cool jobs in STEM fields. Whether it's building robots or learning to code, girls everywhere are finding their passion for science, technology, engineering, and math through positive role models and mentors. So dare to dive in, get connected, and explore. You never know what your future may hold. Learn more about these and even more cool jobs at shecanstem.com.
Coach Brian Woodley's Champlin Park team, no score between the Rebels and Maple Grove as we move to the 3rd inning. And coach not affected by the weather or anything. Shirt sleeve, polo shirt, shorts. Braver man than me today.
Some things don't change, right? Yeah, I don't know. I've known Woodley for a long time, and I think that's the standard. Number 2 is batting for number 5 here.
Ashley Liveringhouse, the batter, and it drops off the glove of Perry and drops into short center field.
It's a heck of an attempt at that play, though.
Hitting for the catcher, Tillman. Look at it again.
Now batting the DP, number 12, Emily Robin.
Yeah, I think that's going to go as an error.
It's a play that I think Barry would make most days.
I think she would tell you she should have had her, right?
Yeah. Well, let's see how they react to this now.
Emily Rosine, bunt in the air, throw to first, and they get the runner off. Double play. Great play by Gustafson.
Coach's nightmare.
Bunted by Rosine, yep.
It's always the fear of calling that bunt in that situation, is that's exactly what will happen. And now you get the double play, momentum killer, just when you had a play given to you. Good play, though.
Yeah, good strong throw over to Casper at first, and base runner quickly erased, and now 2 outs and nobody on. And Natalie Warweather, number 9 hitter and left fielder at the plate. Swings and misses the first pitch from Wilm. Oh, and 2.
Wilm building on that momentum now. You can just kind of feel it. Ride that wave.
Let's win up high, 1 and 2. Called strike 3. War was out. 4th strikeout for Wilm, and Champlin Park is out here in the 3rd. For the Rebels, no runs, no hits. There was 1 error, but nobody left on for Champlin Park. Played 2.5, Section 5 4A softball on CCX. No score. Champlin Park and Maple Grove.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports.
But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there, choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Pitcher Matty Wilm is the leadoff hitter for Maple Grove as we start the home half of the third inning today at Maple Grove. Ryan Leonhardt's first pitch is in for a strike.
Yeah, she was fired up coming off the field. See if she can turn that into a big hit to start this inning off.
Takes high, 1-1. Outside high, 2-1.
She comes back with you.
Cut and a miss. Good swing, but a good pitch by Leonhardt up in the zone. Tough one to hit. And the count evens at 2-2.
Yeah, she missed with the first one. Came back. That one's definitely a strike, I think. Tough pitch to hit.
Back. Maple Grove looking for its first base runner here as we start the third. Just one hit so far. An infield single for Champlin Park through 3 innings. Fouled away. And it's still 2-2.
She's got it timed up. This is where you kind of expect her to throw that changeup right over here.
Nice play by Leonhardt. Fields her position well and throws out her opposing pitcher, Will, 1-3 to start this third inning.
Well, she dug herself out of that hole and fielded the position, and
Number 4, Jenna Steele.
another out in the books.
One away, and here's Jenna Steele. It's a sophomore, only 10 at-bats on the season. Makes a first pitch strike. Bunts it foul here, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, they're starting to adjust a little bit, adjust their strategy. Look like Coach Colt is trying to get something in play, put the pressure on the Champlin defense.
High and outside, 1-2.
Maybe even break Leonhardt's rhythm here a little bit. Both pitchers right now are just focused and locked in.
Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 4 for Leonhardt, 2 away in the Maple Grove third.
Now batting left fielder number 10.
Threw that little spinner on the outside corner there and missed the bat.
Number 9 hitter for Maple Grove, left-handed hitting left fielder Faith Cry, the batter. And a bunt's going to stay fair. Throw to first. Not in time. A bunt single. Remler's throw to Meads too late, and Maple Grove has its first hit and its first base runner today.
That's a nice position for that bunt. Cry's a quick kid, and good control over the bat that time. A nice throw though. Just about at least put the pressure on him.
Back to the top of the order, and Alyssa Werns. This pitch missed inside for ball one. Grounded to third, and it's off the glove. Everybody's going to be safe. Throw to second. Back in time is Cry. And Weimler can't quite come up with that ball. Scoots under her glove. It'll be an error. And Maple Grove now with 2 runners on with 2 outs.
Number 15, Danny Strom.
I thought maybe they would come up with just a little bit more on the hop and stay down. Rebels are going to talk about it. The Crimson are going to talk about it. Early in the game, but you already feel like this is a big moment, right?
I think so too. I think that's what both coaches are thinking as well. I feel like if you can get a run here, might be a tough hill for the other team.
Strom due up, a good hitter.
Yeah, part of the Maple Grove lineup they definitely want to be in with runners in scoring position. Both Strom, Barry, and then Casper coming up all have the ability to put in the gap down the lines or over the fence, and that's something I'm sure that's going to be in Leonhardt's back of her mind right now.
So Maple Grove with runners at first and second, 2 outs. And right fielder Danny Strom at the plate. First pitch outside for ball 1.
Good take on that one. Something I think they've been swinging at this first part of the game. Let that one go.
This is driven in the air deep to center field and over the head of Ava Parent. 1 run is in. Here comes Werns around. He is safe. It's a 2-run, 2-out double for Danny Strom, and Maple Grove leads 2-0.
Good patience by Strom. And just barreled it up square.
Now batting shortstop, number 6, Elizabeth Berry.
Barreled that one up and drove it over the head of Parent. And a big hit for Danny Strom. I mentioned in her first at bat, leads the team in RBIs. Now it's 25 on the season. Driving in Cry and Werns there. Berry anxious on that first pitch, missed, strike 1.
Yeah, they're not done yet. Got Berry, a very dangerous hitter here.
Fouls that back to the screen. Leonhardt working ahead of Berry, 2 strikes.
Not an easy out the last time she battled. Saw 4 or 5 pitches.
Hit out in the air to right. It's going to hang up, though, and making the catch out there is Hewsome. 4th and 3rd out of the inning. But Maple Grove coming up with some big 2-out at-bats. They get 2 runs in the inning on 2 hits, 1 error, and they leave 1. They score at the end of 3. Maple Grove in the lead. 2-0. Crimson the score.
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. As veterans, we can tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. But you've never been interested in easy. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
to Sofia and Gabriel. Even though these old knees can't follow on your adventure to the forest today, these flowers represent my love. These stitches and threads join us together. And wherever you see a flower, a bird, a beautiful tree, know that my love is with you.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Some of the Rebels fans who have come over to Maple Grove to watch Champlin Park play today. Looking for a rally here starting in the 4th inning. Trailing 2-0. They're back to the top of the order. Reach Remler leading it off for CP. Maddie Gruen and Alyssa Blaska to follow. Had a couple of base runners, but both erased on the bases. One on a caught stealing and one on a double play last inning.
Yeah, I think they'd like to answer right about here.
Eddie Wilm ahead already, 2 strikes. And strike 3 gets Remler for a second time today. 5 strikeouts now for the junior Wilm.
Nice pitch. Just missed it. She has a little movement at the end of her pitches that seems to kind of entice that weak contact or miss like that one right there. Definitely on a roll here.
First pitch strike to Maddie Gruen, who has Champlin Park's only hit, an infield single back in the 1st inning. High and away, 1-1. And the winner will play tomorrow. Well, both teams will play tomorrow, regardless. Centennial's the top seed if they take care of Spring Lake Park this afternoon. The winner here would play at Centennial tomorrow afternoon. Loser here will have a home game against the winner of the Osseo Cooper game going on right now.
There's a little change of speed on the last pitch. Well, the batters are really thinking.
Spun to foul at the plate on the swing. 1-2 to Gruen. Blaska on deck.
Gruen's not done here.
Up high, 2-2. Sliced down into right field, and it'll be a single. Gruen's 2 for 2. Champlin Park's got a base runner with 1 out in the 4th.
Got her bat out there. Flared it right over the first baseman. Nice little hit.
So Champlin Park gets the tying run to the plate here in the 4th. And Alyssa Blaska at the plate.
Just like Maple Grove, this is part of the order that Coach Woodley wants up in this situation.
Outside, ball 1. Eve Eiley thought our pitcher had the outside corner, even turned back toward the umpire.
I think I might have too. Pretty good.
Wilm's pitch, fouled away by Blaska. Eric, you mentioned it's a familiar name for Northwest Suburban fans and Champlin Park fans. Alyssa Blaska, who played 1 year varsity ball with her older sister Holly.
Yep.
3 years ago. Holly's had a terrific college career at Miami of Ohio.
Sure has. You know, really good solid ball players. And it's nice to see Alyssa kind of find her own way. It's hard following a sister like that, I'm sure. And
well, but in her own right, won the Athena Award for Champlin Park. Her sister had as well, but yes, absolutely. Being her own identity, and certainly is had a terrific season this year, especially.
She's a tough out, always has been, even when she was young with her back when she was a freshman.
Takes up high and it's 3-1.
Definitely not going to be afraid of this situation, that's for sure.
Leads the team in batting average, but also in walks. Only one intentional walk to her on the year, but the team certainly pitched carefully to number 10.
Oh, yeah, it's hard because Houston batting behind her is an experienced hitter as well. So,
foul back, 3-2.
Well,
now Ava Eiley out to talk to Maddie Wilm. But what pitch do we want to throw here, or not throw?
Well, you know, last inning, Champlin got the big hit. Let's see if Blask can come up with one here.
Sharp, let's go.
Three-two pitch. Blaska fouls it back. Right on it, but
she's timed it. Just missed that one.
good battle here between Wilm and Blaska. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 on, 1 out for Champlin Park in the 4th, trailing 2-0. Cold strike 3. Blaska thought she had ball 4.
Right on the knees.
I thought that was a good pitch.
I thought so too.
Look at it again.
Right on it.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Stay on top of this now.
So 2 outs. Big strikeout for Wilm. But now Emma Hewsom, also a good batter, coming up to the plate.
Now batting right fielder number 4, Emma Hewsom.
Hewsom grounded out in her first at bat to the pitcher Wilm.
Jake looks for a 2-0 hit here.
Grounded, Berry deep in the hole, makes the stop, throw to first, not in time. Good effort by the senior Berry, but that's a long way that she had to go, and Hewsom able to beat the throw to first. So Rebels get their second hit of the inning and now have 2 on.
Takes a nice hop for Berry too, comes right up to her. Strong throw, just a long ways out there. But the runner stays at second base, so first and second.
Abby Meads, the batter.
Well, the Champlin batters look like they've made it their mission to stay off that pitch.
Meads with 1 home run on the season, 10 extra base hits, a .404 batting average coming into the game today. Strike call. Evens the count at 1-1. Gruen at second, Hewsom at first. Champlin Park's best threat so far today. Inside, 2-1. Good take by Meads there.
Yeah. Yeah, second time through the order for both teams here has produced a little bit more offense. Maybe the nerves are a little bit gone now too, and everyone's a little loose.
In the air, down the right field line, foul territory.
Nice
Strom
catch.
with a nice running catch to retire Meads. And Champlin Park here in the fourth. Rebels, no runs, 2 hits they strand to. Go to the home half of the fourth. It remains 2-0, Maple Grove. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV. Good softball for humans and canines alike. 2-0 Maple Grove leading Champlin Park. We mentioned the winners bracket, but elimination games going on as well in this section today. Cooper at Osseo and Irondale at home against Park Center. And the winners moving on to tomorrow against the losers of these winners bracket games. So to be Cooper Osseo against at either Champlin Park or Maple Grove. And the other game, Irondale Park Center, will play at the loser of Spring Lake Park Centennial on Friday. Bottom half of the fourth inning here. Casper swings a slow roller to third and letting it go foul with Remler. And strike to Casper, evens the count at 1-1.
Yeah, that's a good choice by Remler. Picked it up. I don't think she had a shot at throwing her out. Let go foul. Live another day.
Outside, 2-1.
Find your pitch here.
Back to the screen, 2-2.
Couple nice swings by Casper here. Looks like she's just under it.
14 runs batted in for Casper on the season. Lined off the glove. Leonhardt throwing not in time. We're going to have to call that one a single. That was a hard hit ball off of Leonhardt's glove, and then Gruen just didn't have time to throw out Casper.
Gruen almost made a nice play on that one. Almost looked like she overran it just a little bit. Oh, no, maybe not.
We'll get a runner for Maple Grove down at first. Sam Brewston will hit here, or run here rather, for Casper.
Hey, on strikes here. Sammy, watch the ball here now. Let's go. All right, here we go, Leah. Come on, Sticks.
Leadoff runner on for Maple Grove in the fourth.
Hey, you're a great hitter here.
Hey, nobody. Come on now.
Leah Eiley steps in.
Don't chase the outside pitch. Come on now. 3, 2, 1. Hey, on strikes here.
Bunt here, Eric. What's the play? And does put it down.
Yeah.
Leonhardt throws to first a little high, but in time. Throw across the diamond and in safely. Here's Brewston, aggressive base running there. She never stopped running around second. Good cover at first base by Gruen on the bunt. It was a good bunt.
Sure was.
Get 1-4 on the putout. Gruen goes across diamond. He hesitated just a little bit.
Yep.
Kind of pumped, and I think that might have had her if she had thrown the first inning. I go, maybe she might have gotten in, but a good aggressive base running play by Maple Grove gets Brewston into scoring position with 1 out here in the 4th. Down to 3rd.
Rebels right on top of that bunt. So they were expecting it. That's good. Colt just likes to change things up.
Sam Gustafson, the batter. Tillman, a good job to bounce outside and make sure that didn't get to the backstop.
Brewston almost looked like she wasn't sure if she was going to go to third base for a while.
It's kind of looking back, right?
Yeah.
Called strike. 1-1 here to Gustafson. Struck out in the first. Wilm on deck for the Rebels, or for the Crimson. Rebels, meanwhile, trying to keep this at a 2-0 game. Leonhardt's pitch. Ew, fake the bunt, throw down to third. Out at third base. Houston got caught off just a little too far, was coming down the line. Gustafson ideally would have put that ball in play, and that's what that's supposed to do there. She's taking off and then kind of caught off the bag there. Good throw. And the tag applied as well. Nice play by Tillman there.
Yep. Good throw. Good tag. Caught her on that. Looked like it was going to be a squeeze play at the plate here. Runners get hung up on like that. Sometimes it happens.
Well, it's a big defensive play. Pokes and on a line to Gruen by Gustafson. And the line out retires Maple Grove. The Crimson get a hit, but then lose the base runner at third. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left for Maple Grove as we go to the 5th. Champlin Park coming up. They trail at 2-0 here at Maple Grove.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Done today. She has been effective against the Rebels.
Yeah, she sure has. She again, early on, she was pounding the strike zone down to work up, and now Champlin has made the adjustment to stay off the up pitch, and now has kind of gone to hard corners and changed up her speeds a little bit now and keep them off balance.
6 strikeouts through the first 4 innings, allowed 3 hits so far.
And they haven't been able to barrel anything up against her, and that's a big part of it. Weak contact, even though they fell in those hits. I think she's pretty satisfied with that result.
Quick moving first 4 innings. We go to the top of the 5th now at 2-0. Ava Perrin taking the first pitch low for ball 1. Struck out in her first at bat.
Both pitchers starting to make adjustments now, second time through, as the batters have made their adjustments.
Pitch in the inside corner, 1-1.
Once in a while, she changes gears like that and just throws that one right by him. Hear the snap of the catcher's glove.
Fouled back. Eric, I mentioned you've coached against both of these teams for a long time, and when you were in Osseo, it seems like Maple Grove's had a good pitcher forever, right? I mean, the names change, but you always have somebody that can hang zeros up on the scoreboard, it seems like, year in and year out.
Yeah, and sometimes you don't even You don't even expect that, right? Because there's we finally got rid of Sticka, and then next comes the next one, and oh yeah, we got rid of Smith, and next comes the next one, and so yeah, it just seems like it's a never-ending pipeline of
Duick and Daniels, now Wilm,
yeah. And Bella out of nowhere last year, she had a fabulous season, especially coming on the heels of Duick.
1 and 2 here to Parent. It's Woodley's team trying to put some more balls in play and get a big hit. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 7 for Wilm to start the Champlin Park 5th.
Now batting. Number 2, Ashley Liveringhouse.
Got a sub, guys. Got a 2 for 5.
It just jumps right towards the end. So hard to lay off.
That'll bring up Ashley Liveringhouse, again hitting for Tillman here in the number 7 spot. Reached on an air, first time up. Little pop fly that went off Barry's glove back in the 3rd. First pitch outside for 1.
That's a good take. That's a tough pitch to lay off of.
Called strike 1-1. Low, 2-1.
I still like that pitch. Change his speed, make him think about it. Throw that timing off.
Rounded back to the circle. Wilm up with it. Throw to Casper, 2 away. Control's been good today for Wilm, too. I mean, it's walked a few on the year, better than 1 every 3 innings. But today, nobody went to a 3-ball count to Blaska, and she's been mostly ahead in the count against these Rebels batters.
Yeah, she's that type of pitcher. If she can get ahead, man, it's so dangerous. She's so dangerous as that rise ball just jumps. It's so hard to stay off of.
Two outs, nobody on for Champlin Park. And the first pitch outside corner for a strike to Emily Rosine.
Yeah, we got a good angle here. You can just see Wilm, her face is just focused. She's 100% in this game and determined not to let anyone hit.
Called strike. Rosine, it's like, what? Coach, what do they say? What are you talking about? It's way upstairs. Look at it again, Eric.
Yeah, just a little bit on the high side. When it's going, it's going.
So Rosine, instead of 1-1 behind 0-2, that one is definitely out of the zone. It's 1-2.
It has a way of making itself up later on, I hope.
Called strike 3. Great pitch and another called strike. And it's strikeout number 8 for Maddie Wilm. Champlin Park down quietly in the 5th. 4.5 innings in the books here at Maple Grove, Section 5 4A softball. Maple Grove 2 seed leading number 3. Champlin Park 2-0. head to the home half of the 5th inning. Maple Grove. Maddie Wilm will lead it off, followed by Jenna Steele and Faith Cry. Rebels holding and hoping to build on this 2-0 lead. 2 runs, 3 hits for Maple Grove. No runs, 3 hits for Champlin Park. Wilma ground out in the first at bat. Hits the first pitch. Just hits foul. Strike 1.
Hey, drive it. Let's go. 4-2-4. Stay level. Stop skipping. Shoot target. Stay up, buddy. Come on.
Ball hit in the air, a little flare out into short right center field, and it's going to drop for a hit. Parent made an effort to grab it and couldn't quite get to it. It'll be a single for Wilm to lead off the Maple Grove 5th.
Parent almost made that play. She came a long ways.
Courtesy runner 1.
Yeah, just couldn't quite get to it.
Yep. Now they each have one.
Osseo leading Cooper 5-1. In the 4th inning, Orioles looking to stay alive, take on the loser of this game on Friday afternoon. Jordan Brewston will run here, bunt down and throw, and getting caught off second, and Brewston went around the bag, and a good alert play, and they get 2 outs on 1 bunt.
Nice heads up play.
That again. Eric, good bunt laid down by Jenna Steele. They get the out at first, and Grun, quick throw down to second. Blaska, this wipe tag. Good play by the Rebels in the field.
Yeah, that was definitely a planned play because Grun never hesitated. She was throwing it no matter what happened.
So a throw out 1-4 and the put out, and then 4-6. Getting the runner Jordan Brewston out at second. So nobody out on base now for Maple Grove. 2 outs. And Faith Cry, the batter. Big one single in the 3rd, Eric, with 2 outs. That started that Maple Grove 2-run inning. Oop, pokes this one out into short center field, and it'll be a base hit. She's 2 for 2.
That's a nice at-bat. Stays inside the ball, places in center field. Of course, they got to respect both of them, right? The bunt and the slap and the swing. And another quick base runner, so can expect Coach Coltis to try to get her to put pressure on the catcher.
Warren's the batter. Outside for, strike call. 0-1. Warren's last time reaching on an error, came around and scored on the 2-run double by Strom. 0-2, throw down to second. Out at second base. Here's Cry. Another good play on the defensively for Champlin Park. Tillman to Blaska. 2-6 in the putout, and Maple Grove is retired. No runs, 2 hits, but nobody left on for Maple Grove in the 5th.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
top half of the 6th inning, 2-0 in favor of Maple Grove. With that last defensive play for Champlin Park a moment ago, it was Ashley Liveringhouse who took Caitlin Tillman's spot behind the plate, making the great throw down to second base here. And Blaska the tag.
Oh, nice throw.
Liveringhouse getting congratulations from Blaska and her teammates. Keeps the Rebels within 2 here.
Another offense has to pay off the defense here.
Nine, 1, and 2 hitters coming up here for the Rebels in the 6th. The take by Natalie Warwan on the first pitch for ball 1. Rondo, 2-0. And now Coach Coltis not happy with that call. Felt the runner offered at that. Look at it again. What do we say? Things even out?
Yeah, it does.
2-0 now to Warwa. That one hit the corner, 2-1.
Both these umpires are veteran umpires. They've been around, seen the game a long time.
Three and 1. You got bad if they can get Warwa on the number 9 hit, and then you get back to the top of the order with the tying run coming to the plate. Nobody outs.
Turn this lineup over. The dugout's got a little energy now.
Swing and a miss, 3 and 2.
Bring it again.
Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Well, a nice job to come back after falling behind. 3 and 1, and gets Warwa to start the 6th.
Now batting, third baseman number 15, Reese Remler.
9th strikeout for Wilm. 1 away here in the Champlin Park 6th.
She's just putting her team on her back right now. Definitely has a mission.
Reese Remler 0 for 2, trying to get something going here for Champlin Park in her 3rd at bat. Swings and misses at the first pitch from Maddie Wilm. Up high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I think if they're going to get anything going, they got to stay off that pitch right there. Force her to come back into the zone, hit something they can barrel up, be on their path.
Golfed out into short left field. That'll drop for a base hit. 1 out single for Remler here in the 6th.
Finally got something she can handle.
Now batting, second baseman number 1, Maddie Broom.
Both hits, low and away. Both hits, low and away.
But you got it inside on her bat. Did a nice job of muscling it out there, though.
1 on, 1 out, and here's Gruen, who's 2 for 2. Steps out now. And back into the box against Wilm. Lined up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. Back-to-back singles for Champlin Park, and the Rebels have something going here in the top of the 6th.
Gruen's obviously seeing the ball today. She has not missed.
Maybe Eiley will go out and talk to her pitcher. Remler and Grun. Back-to-back singles on consecutive pitches. Grun's now 3 for 3.
Now batting shortstop number 10, Alyssa Blaska.
2 runners on for the second time in an inning for Champlin Park. And here's Blaska. Out on strikes twice today. Fouled right to the dugout. Good thing that screen is there. Would have taken up probably 2 teammates.
A little late on that one. I think she's just getting the timing. Wilm seems to have her number today. Blaska's got the experience though.
Fouled away. Wilm's ahead of Blaska 0-2. Houston on deck. 2 on, 1 out for Champlin Park, and you're running out of outs. Eric, this is an opportunity here for the Rebels to do it in the 6th, trying to rally down 2 runs.
Yep, I think they got to get one here this inning if they want to get Maple Grove at the end here.
Out of the zone, 1 and 2. Good take by Blaska. Wasn't going to chase that one that Wilm's gotten a few batters to chase today.
Yep, up and down the lineup. That's the pitch that's gotten most of them. Stay off that one.
And 2 pitch fouled back.
Well, she's taking some good cuts at it.
Another good battle here between Wilm and Blaska. One 2 pitch, a little high, 2 and 2.
That's really good patience. That's a tough pitch to lay off the 2. But that's the one that I think they have to.
Two pitch grounded. Casper at first, no foul. Well, the at bat continues.
Exactly what I think Blaska wanted out of this at bat. Get her deep in the count and force her to throw a lot of pitches, see a bunch, get the timing down. Looks like they're playing her fairly deep, so I think if she can get a little bit on it, I think they can score one here.
You know, Werns and Strom, especially deep, tries
a little shallow.
A little more shallow and left. They know Blaska can get around it and pull it. Fouled off, Phil. A little behind that one, but again gets a piece of it.
It's hard to judge. I remember old Maple Grove Field. It was a little deeper than this, and then they pulled it into regulation. Now so it looks a little, maybe it looks a little deeper than they really are standing. Nice scoreboard now. A nice job up here.
Wilm looking in, another 2-2 pitch on the way to Alyssa Blaska. Swing and a miss. Wilm fired up in a big second out. Gets Blaska on strikes for the 3rd time today.
Number 4, Emma Husman.
Yeah, she understood that was a big out.
Coltis will come out and talk to his team. This pitch relates to her. I love that pitch.
Oh, I sure do. Blaska did a nice job of staying off that pitch. That whole count, can only hold off so often.
And I think a good visit there by Coach Coltis too. He you still got one more out to get. As big as getting Blask out is, you get another hitter to work on, and Houston does have a hit and had a good season at the plate. Lock in on number 4 here.
Yep. Yeah, you don't want a little slip up here. And we've said since the beginning, it felt like it was going to be one big play that was going to decide the game, or one big inning, and he wants to avoid that right here. Get everyone on the same page. Make sure the pitcher and catcher are on the same page, especially against Houston here.
Houston a ground out in the second, a single in the fourth. Was stranded at first base in that inning. First pitch away for ball 1.
Come on, Madison. 2-1-1.
Remler at second, Gruen the runner at first. Fouled back by Houston, and the count is 1-1.
Wilma's doing a good job on the mound, keeping herself under control. Her emotions are in check. Taking deep breaths. Returning to focus. It's fun to see her when she's locked in.
Called strike, 1-2.
Stay sharp, Mel.
She missed her opportunity. Riseball didn't ever jump, so.
Finish it, Maddie. Here we go.
2 pitch, Houston gets a piece of it. Stays in there, 1-2. One and two, 2 outs, 2 on for the Rebels here in the top half of the 6th inning. Low. Like 3. Everybody's going to reach, throw to first. And so Houston is able to reach on the drop third strike. Everybody's safe, and the base is loaded now. Coach for Champlin Park, look at it again.
They're not pretty bad.
First baseman, Abby Mead.
So Gruen down to second. Remler to third. Houston at first. And Abby Meads, their biggest at bat of the season right here.
She's had some good cuts at her last couple of bats.
Swing and a miss. Has flown out to Strom twice. Tying run down at second base for Champlin Park. Milne trying to work out of trouble here. Preserve a 2-0 shutout. Back on the rubber. And comes home. Swing and a miss. She gets ahead, 2 strikes. Here's a look at the Rebels base runners.
Meads is a senior. This is where you kind of count on their experience and their level-headedness and their passion to get you a big spot here.
They take up high, 1-2.
It's good patience. She swung at that same pitch just a couple swings ago. It's one more shot at it.
1-2 pitch to Meads. Fouls it back. Pretty good cut there by Abby Meads.
The one thing about the rise ball is that if you can catch one coming up, it goes a long ways. She just missed that one.
Another 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Will with a strikeout. And then Champlin Park leaves the bases loaded. No runs, 2 hits, 3 left for the Rebels. Maddie Wilm with 12 strikeouts and still has a shutout. We go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Maple Grove 2, Champlin Park nothing.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Maddie Wilm will have a few minutes to collect herself. An emotional inning in the circle for her, Eric, at that great battle at the plate with Blaska, gets her on strikes. And then after Hewsome reached on the pass ball, bases loaded, comes and gets Meads to end the inning.
Yeah, that was. I know that feeling. As your pitcher just is get the bases loaded, and it's a big situation, and you can get yourself out of it. I know that's a big lift for your team and yourself. So it's cool to see her kind of smile coming off the field.
Now Maple Grove, as you go to the bottom of the 6th, they get the top of the order. I'd like to put some good at-bats together and give your pitcher even a little more breathing room than 2 runs.
Yeah, I think so, and I think 1, 2 more might be a tall hill for Champlin Park to come back from.
1 ball and 1 strike to Werns. That's hit into left field, and the leadoff single for Alyssa Werns, on base for the 2nd time today. Now Danny Strom, the batter, driven the only 2 runs in. Here's our last at bat back in the 3rd inning.
Nice line drive right over the center fielder's head.
That scored both Faith Cry and Alyssa Werns. And that's it for hitting. It's this one in the air, though. It hangs up in the left field, and Warwa over and makes the catch. I thought that was going to drop for a moment, but it hangs up, 1 away.
Now batting shortstop, number 6, Elizabeth
I like that
Berry.
approach, kind of an ambush style, swinging at the first pitch, driving it. She hit that one hard, and the fielder does a nice job ranging over and grabbing it, though.
1 on, 1 out, and Berry, the batter. First pitch missing, ball 1.
This has just been missing. I can't imagine that we're going to go a whole game without her getting a hit here. Like she's due.
Rounds this one to 2nd. Gruen up with it, flips to 2nd, and they get the lead runner, 1 away. Berry reaching on the fielder's choice. 2 down now in the inning. 4-6 on the putout as you look at it again. Gruen to Blaska.
Champlin's D has been pretty good today.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah, gotten them out of a lot of jams, and Leon Hart's been really effective in the circle today, kind of inducing those kind of balls.
Casper is 1 for 2. Takes first pitch outside for ball 1. Barry, the runner at first. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Liveringhouse has a throw out last inning from catcher. Do you send Barry here? Try to get it down to second?
No.
Outside, 2-1.
I think you have faith in Casper here. She's made some nice swings on the ball. A batter that can definitely strike quick.
Oop. Hits it in the air and out of play. 2-2.
I do like Barry's quickness, though.
Just outside, off the plate, 3-2.
Liveringhouse definitely made a nice throw on the first steal, so I think you like Casper here swing away.
Off-speed pitch outside is ball 4. Barry down to second. Casper drawing the walk. Keep the 6th inning alive.
I do like that pitch, full count changeup.
Eric, our first walk of the day.
Wow, through 6 innings. These pitchers have been really good today, though.
Leah Eiley swings and misses on the first offering from Riley Leonhardt. Eiley 0 for 1 with a sacrifice bunt in her second at bat.
Good play by the catcher.
Hey, have some fun, 11. Have some fun.
It dropped right down that divot land there, and she did a nice job of keeping it in front of her and seeing into her glove.
Ball hit in the air, foul, and out of play. 1-2 to Leah Eiley. Ball to the outfield, scores Barry. Ooh. It's a piece of it, stays alive at 1-2.
She got the bat on a very tough pitch.
Eiley, 5 doubles on the season. Barry, Werns, and Strom with 6 each, so 4th on the team in doubles. Round just 1 to short. Blaska bobbles it, throws. Everybody safe. Bases loaded for Maple Grove. Error in the field for Champlin Park.
Kind of an uncharacteristic error for Blaska there. Let the ball play her.
Second Champlin Park error of the day. Inning still alive for Maple Grove. Bases loaded. Sam Gustafson, the batter. Swung and fouled out of play. Ace is full of crimson runners. Barry up third. Casper at second and Leah Eiley at first. One ball, one strike to Gustafson. Fouls it back. He was on that one, 1-2.
Two good cuts at this at bat, and real close. She could really break this open here.
All right, lays off it. It's 2-2.
I don't know where to go with her, so she has the luxury of kind of looking more in the zone here.
2 runs, 6 hits for Maple Grove. No runs, 4 hits for Champlin Park. Maple Grove trying to tack on more here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-2 pitch, poked foul. Still 2-2 to Gustafson. Inside, and the count is full.
Runners will be going here on the pitch. The veteran Leonhardt here will bear down and see what we got.
3-2 pitch, fouled away. It's one of those pitches that's hard to lay off. Might have been ball 4, but close enough for you to take a swing, and she did a good job of getting a piece of it. The ace is full of crimson. Another 3-2 pitch coming. All the way again. Nice at bat by Sam Gustafson. Leonhardt not giving in.
Well, she went to a full count change up earlier this inning. Aces juice. Let's see if she has she comes back to it.
All right, we got our 4 balls collected. We're all set.
It's quite the process.
3-2 pitch ready. It was. Long wait for pitcher and batter here.
It just ups the suspense a little bit.
Leonhardt's pitched and fouled off again.
Good thing she's the mascot.
Good job, Sam.
Gonna rattle the brain a little bit, right?
You're good. Let's go. Hey, smelling salt. Enjoy it. We're having a great time right now.
Gustafson step again. Another 3-2 pitch. Leonhardt back on the rubber, ready to go. Round foul.
A little off speed there. Gustafson really was waiting for it though.
Look at the runners again from Maple Grove. Long at bat here. The 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Leonhardt wins the battle at the plate, and the Crimson leave. The bases loaded. No runs, a hit, and an error. 3 left on for Maple Grove. Last chance coming up for Champlin Park. We head to the top half of the 7th. It's Maple Grove 2, Champlin Park nothing.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
Maple Grove 2, Champlin Park nothing. It's been a well-pitched game by both Riley Leonhardt and Maddie Wilm. Wilm and her teammates right now, though, with a 2-run lead as we go to the top half of the 7th inning.
Yeah, it's been a good game. It's been a quick game. Both teams playing good defense, having good pitching.
Let's go 1-6.
Parent, Liveringhouse, and Rosine, the scheduled hitters, against Maddie Wilm here in the 7th. Double elimination tournament, so no matter the result, both teams move on to play tomorrow. I'm told Centennial won today, defeating Spring Lake Park. Osseo is an out or so away from a win against Cooper.
Tough, let's go.
Well, good start to the 7th inning for Ava Parents. Laid off some close pitches, and they had 3-0.
Great part of this game is that there's no time clock here. They have to get every out, see every pitch.
Called strike there on that 3-0 pitch.
They work all season to make sure both halves of your batting order can come through in situations like this. So.
Yep, past third base and into left field. Solid single for Parent to lead off the top of the 7th. It struck out twice, tying that, and lines it past Gustafson and into left field.
Take a breath and go back to work. Let's go.
Champlin Park gets the tying run to the plate here in the 7th.
Solid hit. Almost a nice play with the third baseman, though. That got on her quick.
Parent, a .377 hitter coming into play today, so a big leadoff single for her. This pitch outside corner, strike in Liveringhouse. Up high, it's 1-1. Hit out in the air to right. It's going to hang up. Strom is there, makes the catch. Tagged pretty well at Liveringhouse, but right at Strom, or just a few steps to the right field line of Strom, makes the catch.
Yeah, Strom, nice and cool, just sits underneath it, lets it come to her. Sometimes players will get a little happy feet, and you never know what's going to happen out there. Strom does a nice job setting her feet and letting the ball get to her.
1 on, 1 out. And here's Rosine. Swing and a miss. First pitch. 0 for 2 on the day.
Let's go, Maddie. Keep it rolling here, Maddie.
Ball back. No balls, 2 strikes. Rebels hoping for a rally here in the 7th. Trying to advance into the winner's bracket final against Centennial Friday. Swing and a miss. That's out number 2. And strikeout number 13 for Maddie Wilm.
Lucky 13. Back to her bread and butter there. Working that high part of the zone. And
there's Warwo's 0 for 2. Last chance for the Rebels here.
0-4-4. Best pitch. Let's go, Maddie.
Missed ball one.
Let's go 1-6.
Let's see if Forward can turn it over to the top of the order here. And top of the order came up big last time, and one more shot for him.
Swing and a miss. 1-1.
Let's go now. Hey, Nat. 1-5-2. Keep firing, Maddie.
1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. Now the Rebels down to their final strike.
Stay focused. Stay sharp. Let's go.
Or just underneath it.
Don't give here, Maddie.
1-2 pitch up high. Good take. 2-2.
I think being patient up there and forcing her to come down to your zone is a good idea. Still battling this last strike here.
Two. Cold strike 3 outside corner, and the ball game's over. Will, with her 14th strikeout of the day, ends it, and Maple Grove wins 2-0.
Yeah, Wilm was she was the show tonight. Dominated inside the circle. I might have got a benefit of a good call there.
Yeah.
But I mean, she earned it. I mean, she was right there in the zone most of the game. Worked the corners. Had the batters off. Kind of off kilter a little bit, off balance, and
Champlin Park got some base runners today, but couldn't get to the big hit. Especially there in the sixth inning, they get the first couple batters on, and then Wilm dials in and gets the last 3.
Yeah, and Champlin played some good defense. They got out of a couple jams with their D, and they had the base runners in position. Just couldn't come up with that one big hit. Maple Grove took advantage of their opportunity, and Strum comes up big with that big double, and that's the game. It's just it's one moment, and today it was Maple Grove's day, but it was nice. It was a well played game. Both teams battled hard, and both pitchers impressive, and it was really fun to watch. And it was. I wouldn't doubt seeing these two back in the meeting again in the final either. So I mean, and I know Champlin works really hard. They've had good success against both these teams, and who knows what's going to happen. That's the best part of double elimination softball.
Rebels will host Osseo on Friday. Maple Grove advances. They will take on Centennial Friday afternoon. Thanks, Eric Ruska, for your great work today. Appreciate your help. For
yes.
Eric and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks so much for tuning in for playoff softball today. Maple Grove wins it over Champlin Park, 2-0. Crimson the final.